Hey guys, welcome back to another build video. And in this one, I put together what I found to be the most fun way of playing the new Tipping Scales gear set. And with its reworks from the PTS, this gear set has the potential to achieve absolutely insane amounts of crit damage, making its high-end damage actually almost rival Striker. But there's one main difference, in that with Tipping Scales, you need to be constantly shooting in order to maintain that damage. And luckily, there's a gun that allows you to do exactly that, and it's called the Bullet King. This gun never has to be reloaded, allowing you to shoot non-stop, keeping the throttle-controlled damage output through the roof. I paired this one up with the Zealot modifier, and this build just becomes an unkillable beast. So this one's definitely been a fun one for sure, so let's take a look. Alright, so this build is 4 pieces of Tipping Scale, the Catharsis, and the Turmoil knee pads. So let's look at the Tipping Scale stuff first. So this has 30% mag size, 30% LMG damage, and the 4-piece is throttle control. So shooting build stacks to a max of 50. Each stack provides 0.5% weapon handling and 4% crit hit damage. And then you lose 6 stacks per second while not shooting. No stacks are lost if an enemy is suppressed. Then my backpack has weapon damage, crit damage, and a crit damage mod. And this has the talent Snowball, which increases the crit hit damage received per stack from 4 to 7. Then for the chest, I have weapon damage, crit chance, and a crit damage mod. And this has the talent Sustainability, which increases the maximum stacks from 50 to 75. So when you have throttle control at maximum stacks, that's 525% crit damage. Then for the gloves, I have weapon damage, crit damage, and the holster weapon damage, crit damage. Then for the mask, I'm going with the Catharsis, because with this build, you're not going to want to move around too much. So this mask is a good mix of offense and defense, allowing you to stick your head up and actually sustain your damage output. So this has armor, incoming repairs, armor regen, and then I put a crit chance mod on here. And this has the talent Vicious Cycle. So taking damage builds stacks to a cap of 30. Each stack grants 1.5% weapon damage, so 45% weapon damage total. Then when you take damage at max stacks, it triggers a purge, removes your stacks, and drops a healing cloud. So the orange icon underneath my ammo bar on the right is the Catharsis meter. So when you hit 30 stacks, it's going to remove the stacks and drop a healing cloud. And you can see right here the healing cloud is not very big, but that's okay because with this build you're not going to want to move around too much. Then for the knee pads, I'm going with Turmoil. And I'm going with Turmoil because LMGs, they suppress enemies really easy, and I just find it very frustrating when you've got like 3 or 4 enemies suppressed and it just turns into a game of whack-a-mole. So Turmoil allows me to shoot the enemies out in the open and damage or kill all the enemies behind cover, and you don't have to deal with enemies hiding nearly as much. So Turmoil, it's a piece of Cheska, 8% crit chance. It has weapon damage, crit chance, and crit damage, and has the talent Bewildered, which splits 50% of your weapon damage to other enemies. Now, if you don't have Turmoil or you don't want to use it, I would go Tipping Scales here with the knee pads, and then go Contractor's Gloves for this LMG damage and damage to armor. Then for the weapons, I'm going with the Bullet King. And my Bullet King has 15 expertise, has LMG damage, damage targets out of cover, and crit chance. And this has the talent Bullet Hell. So this weapon never needs to be reloaded. And for every 100 bullets that hit an enemy, you replenish some ammo. So between the talent and the gunner specialization, this gun might have around 1500 or 1600 bullets, which you could dump all in one go without reloading if you wanted to. So Bullet King is what I like to use, but if you don't have Bullet King or don't want to use it, the blue screen is also another great option for this build. Then for the skills, I'm going with the basic Reviver Hive, so no mods. Then Precision Smart Cover. This gives 15% weapon handling, 14% damage to targets out of cover. Tier 0, 15 expertise. And then I have cooldown and a damage to targets out of cover mod. Then for the modifiers, the passive modifiers, I'm going with the same 3 that I'm going to be running pretty much all season, which is Stepping Stone, Keep Out, and Rupert's Tear. Then for the active modifier, I'm going with Zealot. So mine is level 5, and basically this gives you weapon damage and damage reduction, making you literally invincible for up to around 45 seconds-ish. So this is really good to use against kill squads, and then when you initiate a control point retake, or if you just find yourself taking a little bit too much damage, you can pop this and you're invincible. So then if we look at the stats, I'm at 60% crit chance, and I think I'm actually at 60.5, so 0.5 over, but close enough. I have 117% crit damage, and this will go up to over 600, I think, when I'm at full stacks with this particular setup. Then 900,000 armor, 91,000 armor on kill, and 4,900 armor regen. Then last is the specialization. I'm going with Gunner, mainly for this armor on kill and this supply line talent, which generates 10% of total ammo capacity every 60 seconds. So since this is a very bullet spammy build, this plus bullet hell helps you a lot from running out of ammo too fast. Then down here, make sure you have LMG selected. So now I'll talk a little bit about the strategy for this build. It's nothing crazy, but it is just a bit different than most other builds where you can just run around willy-nilly and do whatever you want. So with this build, I've got the Catharsis, which drops a very small healing cloud. I've got Smart Cover, which has limited radius, and I've got Tipping Scales, which you want to just shoot non-stop if you can. So with this build, more so than others, you really want to find an elevated position to where you can have good line of sight to most or ideally all of the spawn points. That way you can take full advantage of your Smart Cover, and when Catharsis drops a healing cloud, you're not immediately running. And then this way you can also just lay on the trigger of Bullet King and never let go to take full advantage of the Tipping Scales damage. Then as far as the Zealot modifier goes, I usually try and save it until I initiate the retake. Then you'll be invincible for pretty much the rest of the encounter unless you're at a control point that has a really bad split spawn. And here in this particular clip, I actually pressed it way too late because this build already does so much damage that I just forgot to press it. But anyway, that is the full build, guys. Try it out and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Watch out, there's a kill squad in the area. Kill squad down. Hostile kill squad nearby. Stay alert. Down.
En route. Incoming hostiles detected. Heavily armored hostile detected. Heavily armored hostile detected. Heavily armored hostile detected. Vital signs critical.